It is very important for you to protect yourself from financial disasters. There are many financial disasters that happened. There are many financial disasters that will happen that hasn't happened yet. But how can you be prepared from financial disasters? If you will, or if you are willing to let anyone to have control over your life or financial freedom, you are having and you are letting them the power to control your financial destiny. And if you let someone to control your financial destiny, you are just giving them an enormous power over you, and they are capable of impact your life in a major way, whether that is good or bad, but it will most likely will be neutral or bad. Because if you give a person to control your financial destiny or control your life, they will most likely use this to their benefit. And if they use this to their benefit, you will not be benefiting from that. Very important, keep in mind. Because if you give a person power over you, they can and they most likely will use it to have a better perspective, to have a better option for them. So their success or their paradise can actually be your misery. We saw this in the past. We saw how stock markets crashed. We saw how commodity prices crashed. We saw how housing prices crashed. And we are entering to a similar territory right now. If we cannot prevent and if we cannot take control of our financial destiny and our financial life and our own life, we will be beaten to oblivion. We will be beaten to a point we cannot control anything in our lives anymore. Just think about you have to sell your house. Just think about this. Whether you have to sell your house, whether you have to spend your earnings, you have to spend your savings, is very terrible, and you shouldn't be putting yourself in this position because you can prevent it. You can prevent it by taking charge of your life and your financial freedom, your financial destiny. You can take charge. But how to actually take charge? I'm not a big fan of jobs. Having a job is putting your eggs to one person, and that is your boss, to his or her basket. You're putting all eggs to their that basket, and they can be affected by the recession, they can be affected by the COVID consequences of the economy, they can be affected by stagflation that will actually happen to the world. And the stagflation is coming, make no mistake. The stagflation is coming because there is a giant and enormous inflation, and if you add the markets will be frozen because the prices will be too high, but interest rates will be too high too. So in order to take a credit from the bank, and they will not be willing to give you credit to use, in order to take credit from the bank, you will have to be in a debt with very high interest rates. Think about having a 15% or 20% interest rate and having a debt for 5 years. You will be paying twice as much as money, and this is very dangerous because this will stop economy. This will stop economy. And don't mistake this with hyperinflation. because hyperinflation is actually a whole another thing. The prices are moving to sky, moving to heavens, but there is not very high interest rates because the government just cannot handle this anymore. So beware of the stagflation. It is coming. This will come and this will affect the world very, very harshly. And Powell will increase the interest rates very rapidly, and they are talking very tough. And once they increase the interest rates to a level which people actually cannot afford to get credit from the bank, we will be seeing major collapses from jobs, we'll be seeing major collapses from businesses, and we will be seeing major losses. People will lose their houses because this is the only way they can actually pay their debt. People will lose their earnings, savings, and their possessions because they have to pay their debt. This is very, very, very risky situation. Economy will be frozen, but there will be a high inflation, and that is called stagflation. Stagnate plus inflation equals stagnation. Economy will stagnate. Beware. Beware, because this is very, very important. And many people mistake this with hyperinflation. They just assume the prices will go up to oblivion, and which is a mistake, because if you have this kind of mindset, you will be buying the things that you cannot actually afford in the future, because interest rates will be high, and because your salary won't go much higher, because there is no hyperinflation, there is just stagflation. Yes, I know stagflation is very, 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 very harsh, but you cannot actually compare it with hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is whole another level, and it's kind of a death of an economy and changing of a system. We are not there yet. We will be seeing stagflation first, perhaps after that hyperinflation. So hyperinflation can be very disastrous, but this is whole another subject. We are looking to a stagflation because this is coming. There is no stopping this. There is no stopping. There is no stopping stagflation. And you can bet Powell will print money after he breaks the markets with stagflation, with high interest rates. And he's just trying to buy some time, but it is already done. Damage is already done. You can see the damage is already done. It's over. It's over. There's no turning back. The commodity prices are skyrocketing, and they will be higher. Higher tomorrow, higher the day after that, higher the month after that, and the prices will keep going up. There is no stopping this anymore. The damage is done. It's not about COVID, I think. It's not about the Russian invasion. It's about the politics of the Powell, unfortunately. Maybe they couldn't foreseen this. Maybe they did, but they didn't care. And this is the result. And he will try to make dollar stronger by rising the interest rates. So people will actually take the dollar and go to the bank, and they will say, here's my dollar, please give me some interest rate. I will keep this dollar, and they will sell their things because they will be less valuable. They will be less valuable, and dollar will be more valuable in the future, but this isn't actually going for a very, very long time. After the stagflation, we will see hyperinflation, and this will be not nice. This won't be nice. The stagflation and hyperinflation isn't nice. They are very terrible. There won't be, I don't think there will be deflative scenarios. Some people, some economists are telling that there will be deflation, and I think we are way past that, because we have to increase the interest rate very, very high and very rapidly to see a deflation. But I don't think this could be actual death for the American economy, and I don't think they will do this. We will be seeing stagflation, and we will be seeing the market is stagflated, and we will actually see a high inflation rate, unfortunately. And in order to protect yourself from hyperinflation and stagflation, you have to take the ropes. You have to take your own life's control to your hands and do not depend on stock market, do not depend on cryptocurrency, do not depend on anything but yourself in order to have financial freedom and in order to be less affected from these possible, very possible and upcoming scenarios. You have to take control and take charge of your life and your finances. Do not let anyone other than yourself to control your money. So I'll get to see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.